going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. Today, they released the full-length official trailer for Superman. I'm incredibly excited about it. I've been looking forward to this for a really long time, especially in the last weeks. I don't know if anybody else has heard these, but supposedly there's rumors that they're starting to do test screenings for Superman, and there's been a lot of really mixed reviews. A lot of people out there are saying that this movie feels like it has no plot, and it's just like a giant cycle of Superman just doing this thing, then doing that thing, then doing this thing, then doing that thing, and there not being any particular character arc or story through line that actually makes sense. So I'm hoping this movie is one of those plot synopsis trailers where it'll kind of tell us what goes on in the movie. It's 3 minutes long. I haven't seen anything or heard anything about it. I am watching this way later than I wanted to, but we're going to go ahead and just straight up dive into this reaction, shall we? I'm going to take my glasses off. I feel like the glare might be causing a problem. And honestly, I don't need to see that badly. Let's do this. I love that new logo.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Oh,
Sure.
My God, I love it.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some
it's
might.
a lot of
It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
Did they just confirm?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States will
representing
cause
anybody
more
except for me.
problems around the world.
And doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
God. Ugh.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Woo. Oh my God, she looks sick.
Your choices. Your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
Oh. Ooh.
Man. He's not a man. He's an it. It's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
Oh my God. Ooh, I love it. God, I love it.
You have a dog?
Crypto! What a cutie! What a cutie! Okay, overall, very excited about this trailer. Some of the main things that I'm really excited about, Lex Luthor is going to be the president already. I think that that's a very bold decision, but honestly, I'm very happy that they're going through with that. I think that that's one of the more interesting sides of DC Comics whenever you get a character like Lex Luthor. And something that I kind of like about Lex Luthor is there are some comic runs where him and Bruce Wayne are kind of on the same page about specific things. And I think that him being the president of the United States is going to leave it in a very interesting side of things where it's we have other millionaires like Bruce Wayne and they're both geniuses and they both have a lot of respect for each other. And just the fact that he's the president in this universe is very interesting. And I like the fact that they're not going to even bother with some of the more early on introduction stuff for Lex Luthor. They're just going to dive straight into the fact that he's this public figure. He's very against, superheroes kind of meddling with things. And something that I'm really excited about I think that in this year to release a movie where the president is the bad guy, kind of. Very interesting. I love that. I think that the engineer looks sick. I think that that's a character who, when I first heard that they were going to be in this movie in particular, I was like, that's an interesting decision. I don't know how she's going to really play that much of a role in this, but oh my god, the like sequences where she's like turning her hands into razors. Oh, that is sick. Oh, that looks incredible. I think that that's fantastic. Phenomenal CGI. I think that that looks great. All of the stuff with the kaiju fight, the more that we're seeing of it, the more it looks great. I will say, I read more Marvel comics than DC comics, so I don't know if that kaiju is somebody who is important in the comics, or if that's just like a random like giant beast that, you know, James Gunn was like, well, we want Superman to fight a kaiju, so we're going to do that. But I love that. I think that that's awesome. And I like the fact that the angle that they're trying to get at here is the fact that like Superman just wants to save everybody. He doesn't care about like, oh, I only need to save American people. He wants to save people all over the globe, and he wants to do more to help people. And I think that that's really going to kind of help put in perspective why the Justice League International was such a big deal in this movie. The Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, they're probably working for some kind of UN world government, and they're probably the people who get sent out to try to take care of some of the stuff, like how Superman randomly decides to go to another country and stop a war. I think that that's probably part of the reason, is somehow it's going to be showed that the governments of the world are profiting off of the Justice League International, and that's why they want them to solve these problems instead of Superman. So I think that's going to be a really interesting foil for him. I think that obviously these are superheroes, so we're not expecting them to be bad guys, but I'm expecting there to be some kind of like friction between Superman and those characters throughout this movie, and for it to kind of show why Superman standing alone thinks that, you know, he has his morals, he has the things that he's fighting for, versus these people where they're just like, well, yeah, we want to save people, but also we're able to make money doing this. We're able to make this into our job. And I also really think that this will be interesting to kind of show like the double life that Clark Kent has, because part of the reason he has the Clark Kent life, for one, he likes, you know, being able to interact with the humans. And there's part of the reason why his humanity is such a big part of his character, because he spent the majority of his life as Clark Kent. But it's also, he's not paying the bills as Superman. And I think that that's something that'll be interesting. And the fact that him and Lois Lane are already dating, fantastic. I think that that's perfect. And their chemistry in that scene alone, really good. I think I've heard in the past that that's like one long scene, and that's going to be like a 15-minute long scene with them interviewing each other. And it's just those two in a room bouncing off of each other. And I think that if that's true, I'm very excited. I feel like what we've seen there alone is very interesting. And I like the fact that he's getting very defensive, because like he's just trying to be a hero, and he doesn't understand the whole politics behind like, oh, well, you can't just save people in other countries. You have to do it a specific way. And I think that that's a very interesting foil for him as well. I am loving this. I think that this trailer is really good. Once again, I've been concerned because I don't really have a general idea of what the plot for this movie is. I'm starting to understand it a little bit more. I feel like the main plot is going to be Superman wants to save everybody. The people are kind of upset about the fact that he wants to save everybody, because I feel like one of the running kind of like bad guys in this movie is probably going to be just bigotry in general. People who are like, oh, well, you're American, you should be saving our Americans and not worrying about people in other countries and stuff like that. And the fact that he's saving people in third world countries and he's taking care of a war, and Americans are pissed at him for it, I think that that's going to be a really interesting social commentary. And I really like the fact that James Gunn is diving into that. I'm excited to see this movie now. I think that I already had relatively high hopes for it, but seeing kind of like some of the real world comparisons that could be drawn for this movie, it's very interesting. James Gunn is doing a great job. But yeah, overall, very excited about this movie. I think the flying sequences in this trailer that we just got is significantly better. I think that the action, the more and more we're seeing of it, the better and better it looks. Metamorpho, we get to see him with his kryptonite arm, which means we do have a general idea of why he's going to be a big role in this movie. I'm very intrigued to see if he gets a lot of screen time, because whenever they first announced that Metamorpho was going to be in this movie, I'm like, that's an interesting character to be in this movie. I'm very excited to see what they do with it, and especially like that entire setting where they're all a bunch of random people and it looks to be like powered individuals in cages. I think that's really interesting. And it's kind of like, I know Daredevil Born Again just came out, but like the whole politicians being against superheroes thing seems like it's going to be a really massive deal. And I think that potentially being like something that is set up by Lex Luthor, that he has like these cages and he's putting all these superpowered individuals in it. It's very interesting. It's going to be a really cool social commentary. And I think that this movie is going to have a lot to say. And I think James Gunn is somebody who so far has done an incredible job with every movie he's directed and written. So like I said, I'm incredibly excited about this. I don't have that much more that I want to say about it. So thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bow.